me and you, we're typically eye to eye on most things. And I was agreeing with you all the way up until the point when you said what she should have done. Because it's easy to Monday morning quarterback. And I understand, and not only do we fully understand what Diddy should not have done, I would think that we all know what she probably should have done. I would like to say that we all already knew that going into it. Now,
That's a good
when
one.
you said she should have, in my mind, I'm like, bro, we know when we look at shit in real life, how things like that happen. And we don't know if that was her first time or if that was the only time. We don't know any of that context. What we know is this dude punched her, she ran, he chased her in a bath towel, kicked her, threw some bases at her, or whatever the hell he did. You immediately said what she should have done is recognize earlier on to help prevent that situation. While I agree with you, when I said I agree with you, I actually literally agree with that point. I
So
don't
what's the
disagree
problem?
with that point. The problem is when you say that, you're fully dismissing the actual incident that did occur. And we don't know how she was raised. Like we don't fully know how she was raised. We don't. We don't know what she knew. There like for example in a group chat today when JR sent the information about the Dr. Dre's ex-wife saying how that triggered her. I don't know their relationship. I wouldn't know anything about their relationship, which suggests to me maybe Cassie didn't really know about this guy. I didn't know about two prominent people who've been in the business for over 40 years. You know what I'm saying? So how can we expect her to know if she doesn't know and we don't know if she knew? So when you say she should she at 18 should she have known?
Come on,
I'm
man.
I'm just I'm just saying like you took it away all the way away from
I,
what actually happened.
So this
But
is
I
I,
do agree with you.
I hear
and
what
this
y'all
goes
are
back
saying.
to
I hear what
okay,
And
y'all
I
are
don't
saying.
get it. I don't get emotional really.
go ahead, Biz.
I hear
Let me
I hear what y'all are saying. Again, I get it. I'm not condoning
he's
in
not
any
meaning
way,
to.
shape. No, I've never condoned it in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. That's the lowest of the low, in my opinion. I was born and I was raised to protect and defend women and children. That is the code that I live by. Period. But I also understand the hardcore reality of that there will always be predators out there. So all that I'm saying, and y'all and the women clearly made it clear that I gave a solution too early, which in my opinion doesn't make sense to me. I get it from an emotional aspect,
I didn't
but
say that.
well, so the other two women said that.
I said it.
I get that from an emotional aspect, but logically that makes no sense. If we can address the problem, this nigga Diddy is a coward. He's a fucking coward for putting his hands on a woman. Period. That's not going to be the first time, and that's not going to be the last time it happens. But with the awareness and bringing a solution to the problem, we can further prevent this. I can tell men stop putting your hands on women all day and night. We can say that till our face is blue, but there is always still going to be a woman out there that is going to stay with a man that puts his hands on her and abuse her and not speak up for it. So it's
But
one of those situations again where all it is that I'm saying is that let's be real, let's acknowledge what's going on, and let's give people solutions much rather than talking about something that we already know. Let's get straight to the point. This
so
this can
so
be
but
avoided by X, Y, and Z. That's all that I'm saying.
See, so to me, so I was with you up until that point. Because what it sounds like you're saying is a woman is stronger than a man. Like you're going to emphasize, like, let me preach to a woman because she's going to get it so much faster than this guy is going to get it, right? And we need you to, it's okay to talk to both. We don't want to dismiss anybody from the situation. We want both of them to be equally accountable. Nobody, if the man is the leader, right? And you're saying, and we're teaching our daughters, oh, you're supposed to be submissive. Oh, you're supposed to be this kind of person. You're right. You're supposed to look out for certain
You're
things.
supposed to be
But
submissive to your husband. Let's
right,
clarify
right.
that. Let's
You're supposed to be
clarify that.
submissive, but you always say you're a wife before you're a wife, right? So
You show your worth. You show your worth and value as a wife. Absolutely, the
right.
same way that a man shows his worth and value as a husband before he becomes a husband.
But what I'm saying to you is when people come in and they like, oh, this woman, she's so hard, but she's not married yet. So, and you say, well, you can't flip it just because you're married now. So that's what I'm referring to. So you know how people say, because a lot of these women are not married and they're like, oh, she's so hard. You know, you got to be feminine. You got to be, you got to be
feminine.
submissive. You're right. So feminine women, when you put a feminine and a masculine together, most of the time, the masculine, when it comes to strength, physical strength, in which we're talking about in this situation, he's going to be stronger. And we just said men are more logical. Manipulation is in the it's out your mouth. You manipulate through logic, right? Women lead with emotion, men lead with logic. Okay, so you're playing on the other person's weakness, so to speak. So all I'm saying to you is we can't just say, oh, we got to, because I hear this in this space all the time when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to sex, when it comes to anything. It's always the woman has to be the bigger person in a situation. We're assuming the woman should be the smarter person, the bigger person in the situation. It's never, oh, just dismiss what he does. He can do whatever because you should be smarter because you're the woman. You should close your legs. You should avoid this situation. And you're like, oh, because he's able to run wild, do whatever. That's what it sounds like. That's not what you're saying, but that's what it comes off as. It's like it's always the woman's fault. When is it ever? Look what I'm saying, because you just said, I'm going to not talk because I can tell a man all in his face that he shouldn't do this, this, and this. Well, you should. You should, just like you can tell a woman in her face, she shouldn't sleep with a man without a condom, but they're both stubborn. They are, but it doesn't mean
I blame both parties.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't stop talking to each one of them. You shouldn't just focus on one. You should talk to both of them because they both have their weakness and they both need to be spoken to. And that's all we're saying. Just like you just acknowledged, he was wrong, blah, 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 blah. You didn't start out that way.
I did start out that way.
Did.
That was literally the first thing I said.
But what I'm saying to you
look,
is,
and look, this is what I'm saying. You literally just pointed out. You literally just pointed out
what I heard.
What you heard. You just pointed out.
So you didn't
what
say
you heard is not what I said. You literally just said what you heard is not what I said.
So maybe this is the problem. Maybe I heard 5% of what he should do. He did, and maybe 95%
that's what you wanted to hear. No, that's what you wanted to hear. Because
what I heard in the beginning, what I remember, what stood out to me because it was talked about the most was the television, the coverage. That was the first thing I heard. The topic.
That was the first thing that kicked off.
Right. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the first thing I heard.